Hello friends, welcome back to the Cantor's Corner. This week we read in Parshat Tetzaveh how the high priest Aaron was supposed to be dressed, and we also read about how clergy are to be ordained. Thankfully, clergy in this time period do not get ordained the same way that it had been done in temple times, because it was a bit of a bloodier mess, we will say. Part of what I found curious about Aaron's garments was that he was to wear a hat that said on its front, on a gold plate, Kodesh Ladonai, which I would translate as separated out for distinction to God, or it can also be translated as holy to God. I imagine myself in that time as an ordinary person looking at Aaron and thinking, how would I view this person? I feel like I would have viewed him as something beyond human, certainly in terms of both opulence and his place in society. I feel like in today's world, the 1% that we've been hearing so much about most closely embody how ancient Israelites might have viewed Aaron. Reasoning why the Occupy movement and some politicians are harping on the 1% is because the gap between the rich and poor is the worst it has been since the 1920s. Since the Great Recession in 2010, it's only gotten worse. The 1% possess 40% of the nation's wealth, and were we to expand that out to the top 3%, they possess more than 50% of the nation's wealth. Keep in mind, this is more than double of what the remaining 90% of people possess in terms of wealth. The 1% take home 24% of the nation's income. And just to give you an idea about this, a CEO of a company tends to make around 400 times more than their average employee. Notice I'm saying their average employee, not their lowest paid employee. To give you more of an idea, an average worker would need, in a company would need to work about a month in order to earn what that CEO makes in 1 hour. The top 1% of our nation also own 50% of the nation's stocks, bonds, and mutual funds. The bottom 50% of the nation owns about 1/2 of 1% of the nation's stocks, bonds, and mutual funds. What that means is that the bottom 50% of the U.S. are not investing. They're not able to save for their future. They are merely scraping by day to day. The last time that the USA was in this position, we experienced the greatest financial meltdown in this country's history. So the question is, what can we do to prevent another Great Depression? I would encourage you to visit the website inequality.org. You can learn a tremendous amount about this issue through their fact pages, and they have a slew of organizations on their website to whom you can volunteer or to donate, such as Oxfam. There's also a page on that website of online petitions that you can sign, ranging from how to close off a petition for closing a billionaire tax loophole or a petition for a livable minimum wage. Once you get this information from inequality.org, educate your friends and family on what is going on with the vast, unequal distribution of this nation's wealth. This week's parasha wants us to think that Aaron was the only holy person. However, we read in Parshat Kedoshim in Leviticus, Kedoshim tihu, ki kadosh ani Adonai Elohechem. You are holy, for I am holy. I am the Lord your God. Through this statement, we are shown that it isn't just Aaron that is a holy person, but the entire people of Israel are holy as well. And it also brings us closer to Aaron's lofty, rightfully so, place in society. Together, let us work for the day when all of us can prosper more equally.